This is Speak Up on the CW Philly.
But first this morning, the United Way has a new movement called Live United. And joining me now from the United Way of Southeastern Pennsylvania is their Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Joseph DiVincenzo. No stranger to our show. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thanks
Glad
for being here. Yeah, let's talk about Live United and tell us what that campaign's all about.
Live United is United Way's new messaging and ad campaign. We kicked it off last week, and Live United is taking United Way into a direction where we want to start to be looked upon as a movement. We want to talk about advancing the common good for children, education and children, income and families, and health and seniors. And around that, we also want people to feel like a bigger part of the organization. So our rallying cry is give, advocate, volunteer. You can do any or all three. And by living united, then you're really advancing those causes that we're focusing on. And that's the thing now. We're really focusing in on our efforts so that we're really being more specific about how we're investing our dollars and how we're trying to improve the neighborhoods. Yeah,
I was about to say, how are you going about allocating the funding, and how do you determine, okay, this particular need needs to be met more than others, or how do you go about doing that?
Well, what we've done over the past few years is to look at situations in those three areas, which is education, income, and health, and we've really started to focus it on, with children, two key areas, which is getting them ready for school. It's very important that when they enter the school system that they're prepared for school. And then statistically, we can actually zoom in on certain times during their first 10 years of school and say these are the touch points where a child is in danger, statistically, 6th grade, 10th grade. So we look at programs that invest dollars into those type of things. With families, again, it's income, it's stability for families, and we look at programs that not just teach like job skills, but that have a proven track record of finding jobs for people. Programs that when someone gets a job that we can then say, do you know how to save money? Do you know how to go rent an apartment? And with seniors, Pennsylvania has the second oldest population in the country, so we have a lot of seniors. So we like to invest in programs that are really specific to keeping them in their homes, so that they don't have to go to like a senior home. They can stay in their house, keep them healthy and safe. So what we've done over the past few years is focus in on specific areas, and that's where the investments are going for our donors.
And you're definitely focusing in on the children, most important, I understand, especially during this time of the year. Kids are out of school now, but they'll be going back to school. They need school supplies, some of the most needy in the community. Tell me about the Stuff the Bus campaign. It sounds exciting.
Stuff the Bus, it's our second annual Stuff the Bus campaign. And although school just ended, we have 2,000 homeless kids that we're targeting who live in shelters or on the streets, where we want to give them a new book bag or backpack full of school supplies that get them through the year. So we kicked it off last Saturday, and we're collecting school supplies through July. And then in August, we will deliver these to shelters throughout the 4-county area. And hopefully we can increase. We had 1,200 last year, and hopefully we can get to 2,000 kids. What we're doing is we're collecting actual supplies at our headquarters at 17th and the Parkway. We have a website, liveunitedphilly.org, where you can go on and find about other drop-off points. We have the Independent Coffee Collaborative in Philadelphia. We have 10 coffee shops in the city that are collecting for us. We hope to add more companies shortly. And you can also go online and make a donation and buy a book bag for like $25 donation. You actually buy a book bag for a kid, and so you can do that online. So it is June. They don't go back to school in September, but there's so much to collect and so much need that we found last year that we really need almost the entire summer and able to help as many kids as we do. And it's a sad issue when you get involved with a program like this to realize how many kids live in shelters and how many kids are homeless in this city. So the number continues to grow, so our goal continues to grow each year. But we're excited about it. We think it's something that maybe companies, people in the workplace, they can start to collect things. Neighborhoods, kids can collect stuff. Bring them to our headquarters. We'll come pick them up if you give us a call.
You'll even come pick them up.
We'll
Make it easy for them.
Yes, we will.
Absolutely.
Yes, we will.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We're going to continue our conversation after this short break. You are watching Speak Up here on the CW Philly. Back in a moment. Welcome back. back to Speak Up here on the CW Philly. I'm Natasha Brown. We're continuing our conversation about the United Way's Live United campaign. Joining me now is Manus McHugh. Manus is the vice chair of the United Way Community Impact Strategy Committee. Thanks very much for being here. We understand you have some exciting news to share about the United Way's new funding process.
Thanks for having us. It is exciting news. We're very excited about this. The Community Impact Solution Agenda has been 4 years in the making. So to sort of get to fruition is something we're very excited about. And we're very excited about the reaction we've gotten from the community agencies. There's been a great reaction to this. It's been really a migration from how we've done things over the years to really try to be more pointed at working at solutions, identifying the root cause. The board has been behind this since the get-go. And, of course, we're all business people, so we think like business people. What's the root cause? What's the corrective action? Metrics, metrics, metrics. And we now have an opportunity to engage in a dialogue with agencies to truly understand how they can drive outcomes. And it's really been great to see the reaction.
So tell me what the reaction's been, how the community's responded, businesses have responded.
So the business community and the board has absolutely rallied around this because the belief is we want to start to get in front of the problem. So we will always have an eye towards the social safety net, but trying to understand what are the causes of some of the problems that bring households into jeopardy over time and really begin to address the root cause is what we wanted to get towards. So what we did is we did what business people sort of do, is we asked the United Way staff to contemplate an RFP process to really bring agencies forward, help them understand what we're trying to address, and then help them communicate to us what they were able to drive. So we had put in place this RFP process, got over 540 agencies to respond to that RFP. 250 of those we brought back, asked them a lot more questions, and 137 of them are going to be funded. That's almost twice as many as United Way has historically funded in the past, which is just great to bring new agencies into the process. Many of our older agencies that we've worked with for many years that do great work, more than half of them are going to continue in this process with us as well. So we sort of have, the best of the old and bringing a lot of new in as well, and we think we've got a real opportunity to begin to address problems.
Well, just give us some of the idea as to how some of the funding will be used and for what problems you'll be specifically targeting. Sure.
So there's sort of 6 components, but the idea is really to begin to address sort of those comprehensive, lifelong, each stage of life issues. So we start with Success by 6, getting kids into quality preschool programs and get them ready for school. Then once they're in school, keeping them on track. Once they get through school, getting them into positions to get good earning and wage-earning jobs, giving them the skills to build budgets and stay financially solvent, and then finally, how do they remain independent into their old age and elderly. And it goes back to that whole concept of beginning to address the problems before they occur, get at the root cause. So, Success by 6, why focus on early childhood? One of the things that staff's been able to help the board understand is children need to be ready to go into school able to learn. That's critical. One of the things that a lot of education people will tell you is children learn to read up through the 2nd grade. After the 2nd grade, they're reading to learn. If that child's not reading on track by the time they're in 2nd grade, they'll be behind the curve for the next 10 years trying to get through school, and then the probability that they'll drop out becomes that much higher. And you can see the whole cascade effect. Let's get at the root cause, Success by 6.
Well, you would think because the United Way does so much to help the community in so many different ways that you wouldn't have trouble finding funding, getting people to, want to be involved with giving you money. Like we said earlier, show me the money. It's all about money, obviously, when it comes to fundraising efforts. Tell me how Philadelphia responds and what it's normally like here in this area and southeastern Pennsylvania.
We've been able to continue to grow the campaign. Each of the last 4 years, we've seen a new record high established as part of our campaign. And we think that's been because we've really begun to communicate to the donor community that the United Way isn't just an agency to distribute funds. We really are, 1, validating the competency of the agencies that we give funds to. 2, we're tracking their performance. And now we think we've got an even better message, which is to go back and say, and we're specifically targeting these issues. And we absolutely believe what I just described to you as those main focus areas are the issues that people really care about. That goes back to their neighborhoods, the people they know, the people they see at church, at work, in their neighborhoods. What can we do to solve their problems? So the reaction we've gotten so far, especially amongst the board, but even among the campaign chairs and folks within, just our circle that we're constantly dialoguing with is they love the fact that they now see United Way as a value-add agency, not just a distributor of funds.
Wow, great. Well, thank you so much, and good luck with your campaign and your efforts.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate having you here. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Speak Up here on the CW Philly. We're back in just a bit.